in listen-only mode.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Get to Know the Guild webinar. I'm James Horton, Program Director for the National Guild for Community Arts Education, and I'm joined by Ariana Schreier, our Member Engagement Coordinator. During today's webinar, you'll learn how the National Guild can benefit your organization and your entire team. Today's webinar will be 1 hour in length, and a recording will be posted online at the Guild's website by this Friday. Our goals today are to help you gain a better understanding of our programs, services, chapters, and interest groups, and to demonstrate how you can take full advantage of our online resources and networking tools, and of course to answer any questions that you may have about membership at the Guild. We will pause intermittently if you have questions and leave plenty of time at the end for further Q&A. Your lines are muted during the webinar, but to ask a question, please type it in the question box in the toolbox in the upper right-hand corner of your screen. We may not be able to answer all questions during our hour together, so at the end of the webinar we'll provide you with contact information so you can follow up with us directly. So a little bit of the background of the National Guild. Several years ago we were the National Guild for Community Schools of the Arts. The significance of our name change in 2010 from schools to for community arts education, which included the multidisciplinary aspect of the work in a variety of ways to provide arts education. Our mission is to support and advance, work to build capacity, and also move the field forward. Our aim is to support the creation and development of organizations. We believe by helping not-for-profit arts ed providers become stronger and more sustainable. More people will have access to arts education opportunities throughout their lifespans. We are, as of now, the sole service organization for community arts education providers. And Ari is going to share some information on exactly who those providers are.
Great, thank you, James. While the majority of our members focus on providing participatory arts learning opportunities during out-of-school time or at community-based facilities, many also partner with schools and other community agencies to increase access. Many have folks coming in for classes and lessons, and about 80% also partner with other community agencies. By high-quality arts instruction, we mean programs that are taught by professional faculty and teaching artists, and that respond to the interests and needs of the communities they serve. While many students from Guild member institutions will or have gone on to professional careers in the arts, the main goal of these organizations is to engender a lifelong love and participation in the arts. The Guild membership is primarily an organizational membership. We currently have more than 430 organizational members in urban, suburban, and rural communities throughout the U.S. These organizations range in type from community arts schools to arts and cultural centers such as the Segerstrom Center for the Arts in Costa Mesa, California, to youth theaters, ballets, orchestras such as the Las Vegas Youth Orchestra in Las Vegas, Nevada, to arts education divisions of performing arts companies such as Hubbard Street Dance in Chicago, Illinois, to colleges and universities, museums, government agencies such as the Department of Cultural Affairs for the City of L.A., to parks and recreation departments and other organizations. Our membership is also multidisciplinary, offering instruction in music, dance, theater, media arts, visual arts, and literary arts.
Thank you so much, Ari. One thing I really want to point out to you, the Guild is a learning community. We see the diversity and scope of the National Guild's network as a huge asset, and there's enormous potential for the cross-fertilization of ideas. Now, while the Guild has a national office in New York City, the Guild is its membership. Our members not only serve each other, but are a part of a movement to ensure equitable access to arts education. Their collective work, leadership, and knowledge is helping to advance the field.
So now we're going to skip on over to the National Guild's website. This website is a robust resource for our members, but it's also visited frequently by partners, parents, funders, stakeholders, and the broader arts education field. The content on this website is dynamic and updated daily, so we encourage you to check back often. And as we take you through the tour of the site, you'll see that once you log in as a member, you'll unlock a host of additional resources, tools, and functionality. As we go through, you'll also notice that there are opportunities throughout the website to showcase your organization, as well as to learn what's going on in the field and at the Guild. So I'm going to begin our tour by drawing you to the news section. You can see here on the left-hand side of the screen, there are quick links to news and events. There's Guild events, Guild news, field news, and member news. I'm going to start by going ahead and clicking on Guild news. And that's going to take us over to a listing of all of the recent updates coming straight out of our office. So you can see we have listed here that we've just announced the Kaylee class of 2014. James is going to talk a little bit more about Kaylee later on in the webinar. We've also just announced our summer intern. We also list upcoming webinars, new research, requests for conference session proposals, and so on. So this should be your first stop if you're wondering what's coming up, what's new with the Guild. I'm going to toggle over to Field News by clicking this button on the top of the screen. Now this news is what we've deemed to be of importance to our members and our stakeholders in the arts education field. This is not necessarily things directly related to work coming out of our office, but it's often work of our partners, funders, other big players in the field. You'll see here that we have right at the top the new national arts standards have just been released. We posted about an arts education documentary that's been streaming online, news from Americans for the Arts and the NEA, and so on. Then here in the center is where we list our member news, and this is where you guys come in. So all of our members are able to submit member news directly to us by emailing editor@nationalguild.org, and both members and stakeholders in the field across the country see this news. So we post news from our members with national relevance. This can include new leadership, major grant receipts, and new exemplary programs. And this is just one of the many ways the Guild is able to increase the visibility of our members on a national level. This news not only appears here on our website, it also gets posted across our social media platforms. It goes into our e-bulletin, which we send out every other week, and some of it also appears in Guild News, Guild Notes, which is our quarterly newsletter. And the last piece of the section of the website I'm going to show you is the events section. The events section specifically shows events upcoming at the Guild. So that means webinars, that means conferences, that means workshops, and that also means deadlines. So if you want to see the Guild's upcoming schedule, this is where you would go to see what's coming up. You can see on the little calendar on the right-hand side, any date that has a red box over it is a date where something's happening. So I'm going to go ahead and click on today, June 18th, and you'll see here that we've listed the member benefits webinar, which you're all on right now. You can also subscribe to an RSS feed to have any of this come directly into your inbox. You can see here on the right-hand side of the screen, you can subscribe to each section, Guild News, Member News, Field News, and Events feed individually. So that takes an extra step out of it for you, so you can know what's going on in the field, in the Guild, and with other members. So not only are there opportunities for you to submit photos and news to the site, but you also have the opportunity to post job openings at your organizations, and of course, if you're in the market, to find a job. So let me show you how to do that. I'm going to toggle on over to the job board just by clicking this button at the top of the navigation on the website. And this job board is specifically designed for administrative positions at arts education organizations. So we do not post teaching artists or faculty positions here. But you can see that we have all different levels of positions on this job board from all across the country. And these jobs are not only listed on our website, but as I mentioned with the Guild News and the Field News, it's also listed on our e-bulletin, which goes directly to our members every other week. This is also the most highly trafficked page on our website. So if you are looking to fill a position at your organization, this is a pretty hot place to post that.
Great. Thank you so much, Ari. So now I want to talk a little bit about programs. And the Guild's programs fall into four major buckets. Advocacy. The Guild represents the field and works to ensure equitable access to arts education via national coalitions such as the Arts Education Partnership and the President's Committee for the Arts and Humanities, and through partnerships with funders such as the NEA, the Wallace Foundation, and others. A few updates on the Guild's advocacy efforts. Earlier this year, the National Guild for Community Arts Education, in partnership with 12 other national arts and education organizations, released Arts Education for America's Students, a shared endeavor, a joint statement calling on policymakers and the public to ensure arts education for all students. We hope community arts education providers will use this statement as an advocacy tool to prompt dialogue with local leaders about the importance of arts education for all students, and to re-examine ways of collaborating and leveraging resources to more deeply engage communities and multiply the benefits of arts ed. We also partnered with the President's Committee on Arts and Humanities and the Massachusetts Cultural Council this year to present a national summit on creative youth development in Boston this March. The summit convened leaders from across the nation networking at an intersection of arts, culture, and youth development to celebrate the field's progress and success to date. Also, to document the impact of the work and chart a policy and advocacy agenda for the next decade. This summit in large part grew out of the work of our Creative Youth Development Interest Group. You can now access the summit report and the policy and advocacy agenda online. Then one of our largest programs here at the National Guild is our conference, and this fits into the bucket of professional development. The Conference for Community Arts Education, now in its 77th year, is presented annually. The conference draws more than 600 leaders from about 250 plus organizations who share a common interest and a common commitment to advance equitable access to lifelong learning opportunities in the arts. This conference will be presented in Los Angeles, November 19th through the 22nd. And for more information, please visit our conference website, communityartsed.org. And our registration opens July 15th. Ari talked a little bit about the CALE program earlier, but now it's in its 5th year. And CALE is a 7-month-long leadership development program through which current and aspiring leaders advance their skills by engaging with top-level leadership trainers and nationally renowned practitioners. The Institute includes a 5-day seminar at Bryn Mawr College in July, which consists of advanced assignments, a 360-degree feedback evaluation process, and follow-up coaching. And because we serve members all across the country, over the past few years we began to focus on distance learning and have developed a series of webinars that are available to your whole team.
So what I've done here is I've toggled over to the webinars page of the website. So the first thing to note about this page is that after we present a webinar, we do post a recording in our webinar library so that you and your staff can have access to it after the fact. Some of these webinars are available to everyone. Many of them are only available to members. Here right on this webinar page, you can see a listing of some of our most recent webinars. And then if you scroll down, you can see a listing of the latest additions to the archive. That includes a shared endeavor, collaborating to ensure equitable access to high-quality arts education, which is members only. It also includes assessing program profitability, which is also members only, and our latest Get to Know the Guild member webinar. I'm going to go ahead and click Access Webinar Archive. And you'll see here information about all of our webinars that we have ever presented, not just the most recent ones. So you can scroll through this and see all of this information that's available to our members that you can watch on demand at any moment, and this is an absolutely free resource for our members. You can see that we also have informational webinars on grant and award programs and other opportunities as a service to our members. You can see here that we presented a National Arts and Humanities Youth Program Awards Application Orientation webinar. We have had several members receive this award, and we always bring on a representative from the National Arts and Humanities Youth Program Awards and the National Endowment for the Arts to talk to you through this application process. So this is a highly valuable section of our website, and I really encourage you after you get off this webinar to take some time to poke around in here. So now I'm going to take us over to the Publications and Information Resources section of our website.
Great. And when looking at publication and information resources, this is the third bucket of Guild programming, our benchmarking survey and research reports. Every 2 to 3 years, the Guild surveys its member organizations and publishes a national benchmarking data report with critical information on staff and faculty compensation, pricing information, and income and expense rations. We also do best practices guides. Sometimes these are developed with our members, like More Than the Sum of Its Parts, in which we address collaboration and sustainability in arts education, the Engaging Adolescence publication, which focuses on building youth participation in the arts, and Creativity Matters, the Arts and Aging Toolkit. All of these publications are available for download through the National Guild's website.
Great, thank you, James. We also have a series of newsletters and e-bulletins, which I spoke about a little bit earlier in this webinar. We send out an e-bulletin every other week, and that includes upcoming grant opportunities, both through the Guild and through other organizations that are relevant to our members. It includes the latest field news. It includes the latest news from our members and the latest news from the Guild, and it includes job openings. So that's a great resource that comes directly into your inbox every other week. So be sure to take a look at that. It's all very time sensitive and could be of great use to you and your organization. Our Guild Notes, which is our quarterly newsletter, is a printed publication that we send out 4 times a year that has the highest level information from all of these e-bulletins and from the Guild throughout the year. So that will come to you in the mail. You can also download a PDF from our website, and you'll get an email notification when that is released. There's also articles in Guild Notes. We have 1 or 2 articles that comes out in every issue, and those are all posted, archived versions of that are posted to our website. So you can download those articles dating years and years back. So now I'm going to take you over to the networking section of our website. You can toggle between all of these different buckets, as we've been calling them, on this left-hand side of the page. So if you're looking for, you want to come back to the website and look more deeply at any of these publications we've talked about, any of the networking opportunities I'm about to cover, any of this professional development work, you can just come right over to this program section up here at the top, and then click on any of the buckets here on the left-hand side. So one of the networking opportunities here at the Guild is our regional chapters. So the Guild has 10 regional chapters, and they're all led by volunteer leaders from within the membership. And these leaders convene members within their regions by phone and in person. Each chapter also meets during the conference. So if you're interested in getting involved in the Guild locally, I would recommend that you come over to the section of the site and you click that More button, and what's going to be listed is the contact information for the chapter leadership for all 10 chapters across the country. There are constantly events going on, conference calls and in-person meetings too, so I encourage you guys to reach out and get involved. In addition to convening members by region and discipline, the Guild also fosters dialogue and exchange through member-driven interest groups. Examples of this include our Collegiate Divisional Interest Group and our Creative Youth Development Interest Group, which James alluded to earlier on the webinar. We also have an emerging group of arts and education providers. We also periodically hold national meetings like the National Summit on Creative Youth Development James mentioned earlier, which actually grew out of our work with our Creative Youth Development Interest Group. And of course, if you have a burning question and you haven't been able to find the information you need through any of the resources or networking opportunities we've already discussed, you are more than welcome to give us a call at any time, and we'll either work to answer your question ourselves or we'll connect you with a member with expertise in the area you're looking for help in. So in addition to networking opportunities listed here, there are also a variety of ways you can use our website as a resource to network directly with other members. In order to do that, you must first log in. So I'm going to show you how you log into our website. You just click this member login button. You enter your email address, and you enter your password. Every individual staff member or board member at your organization can be issued a unique login. We do recommend that each individual gets their own and that you don't share, as this is used to register for events and things like that. So if you want to sign up more individuals at your organization for logins for access to the website, you can just email me directly with their first name, last name, and email address, or you can fill out a form on the website. These are both ways that you can do that. So right now that I'm logged in, I have access to all this functionality that's going to allow me to network directly with other members. And the first thing that I'm going to show you is our member directory. So there is a public view of the member directory, which you can view as a non-member, so that it can be used by funders and individuals and communities across the country looking for art programs in their area. However, when you are logged in as a member, enhanced features are unlocked that enable our members to connect in a number of ways, including location, budget, size, and discipline. So I'm going to do a little example search for you guys. I am looking for organizations that offer both dance instruction and music instruction, and I'm going to narrow this to organizations with budgets between $500,000 and $700,000. And then I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to click search. That budget size search field does not exist for non-members. So if you were to click on any of the search results, you would find a profile which includes a description of the organization, all the disciplines offered, the budget size, the location, and the contact information for the primary contact at the organization, which is generally the executive director or program director. And once you're logged in, you can actually download all of this information for all of these organizations listed in one spreadsheet directly to your desktop. So all you have to do is click the format type that you prefer, and then click download, and you have this contact information accessible to you at any point. This is a fantastic networking tool in a way we've enabled our members to customize how they network with one another. So the other great networking opportunity available directly through the website once you're logged in is our member forum. So the way that you get to that is by clicking this forum button here at the top of the screen. And this is going to take us over to a whole other area of our website. So the member forum is a web-based discussion forum that enables staff, trustees, faculty, and teaching artists to ask questions and share information and advice and connect with their peers across the country. So here you can ask a question or you can respond to a question, and you are automatically subscribed to the forum when you become a member. So anyone who has an account at your organization with the Guild is automatically subscribed to the forum. So you'll receive notifications in your inbox anytime somebody asks a new question or adds to a thread. So here are listed all of the ongoing threads on the forum. You can see the number of posts in each, the number of views in each, what people are talking about. So if you have a question, you haven't been able to find a resource on our website that answers the question directly, the next thing that I would encourage you to do would be to go to the forum, click New Thread, and ask the question here, and that will be blasted out to our entire membership. What I'll recommend, though, is that if you're going to do that, before you ask the question, you search the member forum and see if it's already been discussed. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to search for independent contractors, because this is a conversation that was pretty hot on the forum about a year ago. So I'm going to click search. I'm going to scroll through the hits and see if something comes up. So here you see I found a thread, teaching artists as independent contractors versus employees. And you can see that there was a pretty robust conversation about this. And this is actually a really interesting example. This really took off on the forum, and we at the Guilds are always very closely monitoring the conversations that are happening here. And we noticed that this was a big question for a lot of people, so we actually hosted a webinar on the topic. We brought in someone from the Lawyers Alliance, and we had a whole webinar, an hour-long webinar covering all of these questions. And now that webinar is posted to our webinar library, and you guys can watch it at any point. So the forum is a really great way to both get answers to your questions from your colleagues at other member organizations and signal to us that there's something that's really hot out there that needs to be addressed, and we'll respond to it, and we'll do something like we did in this instance. So now I'm going to take you guys over to our Resource Center, which is the last really robust section of information and best practices on our website for you guys. So I'm going to go ahead and click Resource Center at the top right next to Forum, and it's going to take us over to this this giant library of information. So James, do you want to talk a little bit about what our members can find in here?
Sure. Thank you so much, Ari. So in our Resource Center, we have a comprehensive library of resources and tools designed specifically for staff, trustees, and faculty at community arts ed organizations. All of the materials are peer-reviewed, and the site is pretty dynamic. We add to it continuously throughout the year, and it's organized by topic. Let's say if we go into marketing and fundraising, or program development, or evaluation and assessment, and includes articles on effective practice, templates, and sample documents, links to helpful resources on the web, and more. Members can access the site through a unique login that Ari talked about earlier, and non-members can preview the site. Unfortunately, they don't have access to all the goodies that that membership provides. A lot of this stuff consists of material from the Guild, templates from Guild members, and links to other resources. Like I said before, Ari, if you can take us through one of these resources, marketing and communications. So here we see, you have your tools section, you have an introduction to the overall section, and this information is constantly being updated. You can access this through the resources, home, toolbox, or search, and looking for information that you may need to get going. If we don't have resources that you need, please, by all means, let us know. You can do this through direct email or through the members forum. Ari, do you want to talk a little bit about back issues in the Member Center?
Sure. So now I'm going to take us back over to the general website, which is where the member directory was and all that program information. And I'm going to click on Member Center. So this is where you can find a lot of the resources that we were talking about earlier, where you can download back issues of Guild Notes and e-bulletin. You just go to Member Center, you click Information, Resources, and Publications. And here you can click Download Back Issues to download old issues of the e-bulletin. And you can also read the current issue of Guild Notes and download back issues of Guild Notes. You can also access the webinar archive from here. It's just another way to get to the same information. And also in the Member Center is just where we list, again for you, all of the different ways that you can access resources through the Guild. I'm also going to take you over to this Increase Visibility section of the Member Center. This is going to go over again how you can be featured in Guild publications, as I mentioned earlier in the webinar, how you can submit through editor@nationalguild.org, how you can get your photos featured in our brochures and our postcards and on our website. Those guidelines are all listed here. This is also where you can download the Guild logo. We encourage you guys to post the logo on your website and put it in your publications to signal your commitment to increasing access to lifelong learning opportunities in the arts and making high-quality arts education accessible to all. You can click that Get Logos button there under Display the Guild logo, and from there you can download a web-ready version of the logo as well as a print-ready version of the logo. We also distribute decals of our logo to our members. You should have received that in the mail when you first joined, but you can have as many as you like. If you want more to put on your windows and on your cars and your doors, just let me know. You can email me directly, and I'll be sure to get that to you.
Great, thank you. And then our largest program is the conference. Ari, if you can take us over to our conference website, that'd be great. As I mentioned earlier in our webinar, our upcoming program, November 19th to the 22nd in Los Angeles, California. Again, registration opens July 15th. But through our conference program, you can see on our website that we don't have our current 2014 conference up, but if we take a look back at our 2013 conference program, this has all of the session information, all of the site visits, everything you could ever wonder about what we're doing at our national conference is right there, along with the schedule. So we encourage you to check back often, please, and by all means, if you have questions in regards to sessions, please let us know. Again, we have our pre-conferences on the first day of conference, which this year will be November 19th, and then we have our main conference that spans Thursday through Saturday.
Great. Thank you, James. We've covered a lot today, so please feel free to get in contact with us at any time. All of our information is listed here on our website on this contact page, and we're always happy to hear from you and answer any questions or walk you through the website or an online resource if there's anything you have questions about at all. So before we say goodbye for the day, do we have any questions that have come in?
By all means, please, if you have any questions, you can type them into your chat box, and we'll answer those now. All right, Ari, it looks like we don't have any questions coming in. Again, once we end the webinar, if you have any questions, please feel free to contact Ari or myself, and we'll get back to you with an answer. All right, thank you very much, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. Have a good one.